eh, ah, ooh, ah, 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 ah. People of God, how you doing, people? So I'm back like I never left, but I came alone because I need to pursue that girl after she did my makeup.
She know they pursue me. I dey behind the camera.
Can't you just try and respect yourself? Why do you like famsing? As in, why do you like famsing?
Shebi, if I did not do makeup now, you will not be doing Please continue your video. You may continue.
So you must talk.
You may continue. People of God, how far? I still dey here. She know they pursue me. Let's continue. We were as we were what?
So people of God, how on a day? This experience is supposed to be alone because it's time I give this girl also in a go me a race. So I'm here to share just a little tip on how I get my children. Not all of them. This one that is here doing video does not read. On how I get my children to read. This is just the ones I could pack in the carton. Makadambu tebe the whole akoko or Satan at this place. The water go. So let me just share a little tip. I will start by saying that, you know, when this reading thing, I love to read, yes. So in my mind, I believe that as a mom, as a reading mom, all my children, starting with this girl that is doing the video that is meant to be the first one.
I read Wattpad.
You do what?
I read Wattpad. Wattpad is an online book app.
What is Wattpad?
Online book
People of
app.
God, I'm talking about hardcover. What? Wattpad, Bonye. So I thought that this girl will be reading. I don't know what is Wattpad. I don't even want to know. So I will know later because I come out my important come out the guy digital. So I now thought in my mind that since I'm a reading mom, you know, that all my children, they're going to love to read. They're going to be beautiful readers. They're going to be wonderful readers. You know, like they say, readers are good leaders. And you know, with reading, you can travel the world. You go on adventure. You become a tourist from your mind, from your home, from your room. Gradually, I began to do what? You must read. I started doing that. Let her not even talk the story of how I made reading a punishment. Oh God.
That was another deal. Continue as we were what?
I was not saying, you must read. You must read. Can't you see? Read the book. Read this. Read that. People of God. As I was doing such a punishment, my children will start reading. Gradually, I observed one thing. You do not force children to read. Don't make reading a punishment. This was how I found a better way for my children to read. I began to put more interest. I began to observe what my children love. That is to say, what type of books do they like reading? All of them will not like to read the same topic. Exactly.
Like me, I read like now. Comment me. You know, I read encyclopedias, so that's a plus.
So video.
Okay, continue.
So parents, to help you, what you need to do firstly is happy this thing and we're gonna readers and leaders. Yeah, they are leaders, but if you do not find out what that child loves to read, then that leader is not leading to anywhere. So I began to observe what my children love to read. I found out that this my madam, she loves to read encyclopedias. This girl has sent me now to go and buy a Guinness Book of Record. I'm still going to buy it. She's an artistic person. So she reads anything about Leonardo
Da Vinci.
She reads everything about the man. I don't want to talk about how much I bought this book. She reads everything about the man, anything artistic, she's going to tell you. Anything that has to do with skincare, she's going to read it. So I started looking for books on that topic. And when I buy it, I see the joy. She reads them. She wants to know about artists. She wants to know about, you know, anything that has to do with art, painting. I can buy books on topics that has art and paintings and drawings and all of that. She wants them. 2 books on photography. She wants to read them. Then I have my child that wants to read things like Christian literatures, things like Holy Spirit, My Senior Partner by Yonggi Cho. She loves them. This one will never answer you. She loves them. And you also have children that love to read true life stories of people. I have my daughter and my son that loves to read. This one making this video, my YouTube partner, she loves to read about people, their life events, what happened to them. So you see me buying books about Beyonce, books about Kobe Bryant and all of that. Then the sports that they love, they want to read books on that. So you look for topics that your children love, topics that excite them. It could be adventure, it could be tourism, it could be food. These are the things you need to look out for. The first thing you need to look out for. Don't just go out and buy books and start forcing your children. Another thing I want to tell you is that don't make the mistake I made. Reading is not punishment. Reading is not punishment. Then intentionally buy books, throw books around. I did not say scatter like mad people. I said throw books around. Keep books, around your home. It helps. I have my son that loves to read about money, investment. So you see me buying books like small business, big money, My daughter wants to be a teacher. She wants to read things about teaching. I buy the right teacher. So even the problems they want to solve in their lives, ask them. Buy books on those topics of problems they want to solve, because they want to start gaining ideas on how to bring solutions on those problems. How else do we make children read? What else did I do? Some of them love to listen. So buy audiobooks. Buy audiobooks. Let them listen to audiobooks. Bottom line is that they want to read. Now, another of my child loves books that has a picture. So first of all, what type of learner is your child? That will tell you the type of reader your child is or your child will be. You can have a visual learner. So if that child, then you see that there are children who love to highlight, do all those things. Some who love to listen, let them listen. What else would you do? How else? There's pretty much nothing. Then let me now tell you the main cocoa that I did. There is one that does not like to read. Mama Choke calling him at the alcohol. I'm looking so pretty today, so let me come near. Well, come, I know you're the person that made the makeup. So, what I did with this book, The Power of Habit. How I got my daughter, this one making this to start reading other topics was this. I will read chapter 1 of one book. She will read chapter 1 of that same book. We get to write down things, then we start discussing it. We start breaking it down. I do not understand all these books. What do you call it? Doc Diary. But to be on the same page with my son, who loves everything Doc Diary, and this man, Tom Gates. When he read chapter 1, I read chapter 1. When he read chapter 2, I read chapter 2. We begin to discuss it. It showed me that every time my child is eager to come and discuss, there's this spark on their eye. It might not happen all the time. So when you read chapter 1, let your child read chapter 1. Just tell your child that, okay, we're going to be reading chapter 1 of this book. Let it be an exciting book. Please, for the sake of your child, think of the age of your child before trying this thing I am telling you. Then another thing that we started again in my home generally is that we pick a book that we read. Everybody in the house reads. So even if that child does not like to read, the fact that you are going to be teaching chapter 1 on Saturday, or you are going to be teaching chapter 2 on Saturday, so you pick a particular book you want to read. The house is going to read. So what's going to be your family read for the month of January, apart from the books that your children love to read, the topic they like to read? So what we are reading now is one book by Robin Sharma. Who will what?
Who will cry when you die?
Who will cry when you die? So when this person reads chapter 1 this week, the person will teach us. We're all going to take note. But everybody is going to take turn reading that chapter 1. Then next week, another person reads chapter 2. Everybody is going to take turn reading chapter 2 and explaining it. So it's now like a family kind of culture, a family value that, okay, you don't have a choice, you're going to read. It's not like a punishment. We are now saying that all of us are getting intentional about reading, and it makes it fun. So when you're going to say, if you do not read, you're not going to know this. If you do not read, then the excitement in it is that looking out for new words. Buy highlighter. When you buy highlighter for your children, they love color. Like this girl doing video, she loves highlighter. Like she loves it. So anytime, all our Bible is filled with highlighter. So anytime you see them reading, you're going to see. Me, I actually use pen because I'm tired of that highlighter thing. So what you see them do is that they are going to, I will always tell them, anything you see that interests you, that brings a spark in your brain, please highlight it. Let's talk about it. Is it a new word? Let's discuss it. Let's find the meaning and all of that. So all of these are the little tricks I put in my home. And sometimes you could use incentive, but not all the time. If you continue to reward because a child reads, the child will now say, okay, because you're rewarding me, I'm going to be reading. So these are the little things. Thank you, Nazo Eze, for giving me the opportunity to share this little trick. Thank you so much. I just pray that this works for some parents. It has worked for me. It's still working for me, and I see myself having more things to discuss with my children, having more topics, and I learn from them. So that's what we have been doing. So right now, you can pick a family read. It can be a children book. It can be, things that will interest your children. Some children love books with pictures. Buy a book with pictures is good. Some children love books that they can be able to write, assessment book. Buy it if that's what they love. But first thing first, observe the kind of learner your child is. Another thing is find out the topic that interests your child. It can take you 1 month, it can take you 1 year to find out the topic that interests your child. If your child loves books on biographies, so find out. I love Francis Rivers. I love there are plenty of people that I love their books, but that doesn't mean that my child will love what I love. Then again, I love reading big books. My children do not love reading big books, some of them. But there are children who love reading big books. Buy big books for them. Some children do not like books with tiny what do you call it?
Handwriting.
Printing, madam.
Printing.
So buy books that are okpoko. Those
big
printed
those ones
books,
are the best.
Then if you begin to find out if your children love leadership books, spiritual books, self-development books, history books, you just have to find out what they love. If they love listening to books, it's also good that you join them. So these are the little tricks I've done, and it has worked. We have minus reading as punishment. Encourage your children to encourage yourself. Till I come your way next time, decorate my makeup. Oh, but this one pan shimmer the makeup. How am I looking today, people? Don't forget to subscribe. Help me. Take your neighbor and tell your friend. Let it see when we see again. Before I forget this point, you are going to try out different authors. Parents, you try out different authors. You see this, one of my children, they love authors, anything that has to do with the writer of Dog Diaries. Just my son, he doesn't want to know whether they say your head is big. For as long as it's Dog Diary, my son will read it. Then my daughter likes Khalid Husseini. Any book from him, she doesn't want to know if it's good or bad. She's reading it, And my son, anything Robin Sharma is good to go for him. But now I started trying, as I say, you cannot get comfortable with one author. Let us try another writer. You might gain something. So my son just started reading Enid Blyton, and he's beginning to enjoy his books. So what did I start doing? Another thing I forgot to tell you people. My son now has a book target. I give him a book target. As my 10-year-old, he has a book target. So in a month, even if he can finish 2 or 3, but I know that I'm going to interview him so that he will get to tell us how he meets up his reading target. I do not force it on him. If he makes it, good. If he doesn't, we just have fun doing it. Let it be fun. Let it be fun. But the only way to get them is to be involved without forcing them. They will like a particular author, but with time begin to change and discuss.